Wake up, babe. It's time to tell Pat he's going to 100k dry again. Oh, well, isn't that nice? Oh, so good morning. Good morning, fellas. How are we doing today? I spent all night, okay, praying to the Comcast gods, okay? So there's no way we have any internet issues today, I believe, okay? Hopium. I think today is going to be, I think yesterday was RNG evens out, okay? Yesterday was the shitty day, okay? Today, no internet issues, egg shiny, plus I'm going to do your mom. True. All right. I'm excited, chat. I'm excited because of shiny binomial distribution. Because I'm a nerd and I'm not good at math, but I like math. Is that fair? Right? So, I am currently, always important to keep in mind, just because you get more encounters, it doesn't actually increase your odds of getting a shiny. It never does. It's always a 1 out of 30,000 chance every single Pokemon encounter, every single roll. But looking over the charts, I think it's interesting. I'm currently at 51,000 encounters. I was cranking up some encounters last night post stream. When I couldn't stream, I was angry, and I funneled that energy into some encounters. So I'm probably somewhere around based on this chart, there's no 50k, but 45k, probably around like 83. I would guess like an 83% chance I should have gotten a shiny by this point. So hopefully we can see what happens today. Hopefully we can. I think it's in the eggs. You know, my wife has convinced me enough. I'm gonna say hopium today, and I'm gonna say that it's in the eggs. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna focus heavily on hatching my eggs today. I'm gonna put these mons away. I'm gonna bring up time.is, which is a tool that I use to egg tick. If you aren't familiar with egg ticking, if you are someone who egg hunts at all, you probably should be familiar with egg ticking. I know it sounds very nerdy, and I thought it wasn't going to be worth it. It's one of those things that I thought wasn't going to be worth the effort. Like, it's going to be super high effort for like super low reward, super nerd, but it's actually so good. It actually is so good for very little effort. You just have to watch a clock. I really recommend it. And we get a shiny charm link from Aben Bag. Today's a good day, guys. I'm excited. Hopefully you're enjoying PokeMMO, having fun. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to always like it. If not, feel free to dislike. Hopefully your shiny luck is high today, though, boys. Oh, my berries. I actually almost forgot. I think they're... Oh, I watered them last night. Day 2 of berries. It's going to take me so long before these are an actual habit. Oh, geez, boys. I think I have to buy the seeds. But look, they're actually not dead. Pog. Actual green thumb. Huge. I will say, someone asked, what's the best money making method in Pokemon right now? I do generally recommend Googling strats and videos. I have so many videos. I have a playlist with over 80 videos. If you Google that exact question, what's the best money making method in PokeMMO? I have a video, titled that. However, in terms of a even more interesting answer, time sensitive stuff, probably fossil farming, right? I feel like Ditto farming is really consistent right now. Some players do like it because it's very like, if you're from scratch and a new player, just the 240k pure from a box is so nice, right? But I feel like fossil farming is probably insane right now. With every single fossil being, what, minimum 10k? And fossils being in such... Oh, they did drop a bit. Okay, wow. Ooh. They dropped a fair bit, okay, to be fair. Which is really good for Shunters. Shunters, go buy up the fossils so that new players can make money off of us. With fossil farming, boys. Get to buying fossils. Okay, I'm still just learning berry farming, right? But I will say, I feel like one thing that I've already noticed that I don't think nearly enough players... I don't think players talk about... People always recommend berry farming to new players, right? I feel like I hear that a lot. I wouldn't do that personally. Berry farming requires a lot of capital. Like, if you want to truly effectively berry farm, I feel like multiple accounts and stuff, you need like, what, 600,000 Pokeyen per batch per account, and the idea of selling all the berries off before being able to plant them again, like, it would be really annoying. So like, let's say you have like, you probably want like at least 3 batches prepped ahead, maybe like 2 to 3 ahead of time, to be able to like actually sell your berries and such fast enough to like replay. You can do it, but it'll be really annoying, right? I'd probably say like, so let's say you want to do like, let's say you have 3 characters, right? You want to do berries on, right? You need 600,000 times 3 full batches times 3, right? And like putting like 5 to 6 mil. You can do it from any stage. You truly can berry farm, but the profits will be so minimal. I'll have to do more testing and stuff. I make around 100. I feel like right now I make around 150k or so per full batch. And it's mostly just passive time. Like the only time, probably what, 50 minutes. How much? Maybe 20 minutes a day to like do both waterings and then harvest and then plant the next batch. This is the longest cycle right here, is harvesting and also replanting and also watering. So this obviously takes the longest amount of time, but it's not time wise, it's really insane Pokeyen per hour, but it's same as like RuneScape farming. Like it's passive and you have to actually be on your times or things will die. And you could potentially lose out. Let's say berry farming is also scary because I'm not trying to like, berry farming is amazing and I actually like super in love with it, but it's super good. But there are a lot of pros and cons to every money making method, right? Like if you let's say you're learning berry farming, right? And let's say you do 3 successful batches, right? So you make 150,000 Pokeyen times 3, right? So you made 450k profit. That's awesome, right? You're learning berry farming, right? But if you miss one, if you let one batch die, well, now you're down 600k, right? So now you're down. If you do 3 successful batches and then mess up one, also if you mess up, if you're doing on multiple accounts, it's minus 600k if you fuck up, which is legitimately scary. Legitimately a scary thing. I feel like for the average player, losing 600k is like pretty devastating in my opinion. So you gotta make sure you're on top of it and set timers and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Berry farming seems amazing, and it seems like one of those things that probably every developed player, every like long-term self-sustaining if you play every day, almost everybody should be doing berry farming if you're like a end game player. It's that good. I mean, I've put it off for way too long, but it's a tough one to recommend. Maybe medium players. If you really enjoy this playstyle as well, if you like farm simulators, you're also probably gonna love this, to be fair. Okay, that berry farming took 20 minutes. That was so inefficient, but we practice, okay? We practice and we get better in the future, boys. I also had a cat drinking my water, to be fair, and stepping on my keyboard, so I was a little slowed down. Not to blame it on the kitty. Kind of cringe of me. I'll have to just click faster next time, boys. Let's grab our eggs and go back to Cryogonal Jail. Cryogonal mines, boys. We yearn for the mines. Dude, that's actually crazy. I said it at the beginning of this month. It is the ideal situation that I leave this cave with like 20 cryogonals. Like that's best case scenario for Shiny Wars. I want as many cryogonals as possible. That's just the best points. Oh my god, dude, I am not on pace. I have 1 cryogonal and we only have 14 days left. The season in game winter changes at the end of the month. So we have 14 more days of, I guess, positives and negatives. I'm sick of Cryogonal Jail, but pros and cons, we only have 14 days left of Cryogonal Jail, but also we only have 14 days left to get Cryogonal points. So we'll try, man. Day 16, no cryo for me. How many encounters are you actually to be treated? That's brutal, dude. Well, there it is, boys. A Spidget rate of 21. Yeah, were you in cahoots? Oso literally just said in chat 2 seconds ago, I'm gonna make a crazy prediction about this stream to prove that I'm psychic. Believe it or not, we will see PvP today. And I just said, if Spidget raids me while I'm not on Shiny Charm, I will do a random. We'll throw it up, boys. Let's throw up the randoms PvP. All right. Let me teleport back to the PC, switch out my eggs, and I don't know if eggs can hatch while doing PvP, but we'll do it, boys. What are the most common shinies in the game? Gotta be Hordemons? Yes, but it's not, the most common shinies in the game aren't just Hordemons. They're specific Hordemons because those Hordemons are either, number one, hoarded a lot, or they're gotten throughout the storylines accidentally easily, right? That's a really important thing to consider when in terms of like how common a shiny is, right? Like think about how many people play the storylines versus how many actual shiny hunters there are, right? Like there's way more, like there's shiny hunting in general is a pretty niche thing at the end of the day, right? So things like Tentacle is infamous, right? Because it's like you see so many of them in the water during a storyline. It was the best XP trading spot in PokeMMO for a very, very long time. It is still the best XP trading spot if you don't have complete Pokedex, which is most players. So Tentacle is one of the most common. Rapidash is one of the most common. You see a lot of Solrock and Lunatone on the GTL for super cheap, but I actually don't think that they're that common. They're really cheap. Like, yeah, actually, here's a good example. There's only 12 on the GTL. That's not that many, but they're so cheap because they're a genderless shiny, which means they can only breed with other Solrocks, and people get a ton of duplicate Solrocks because if you go shiny hunt for, Meteor Falls. If you go shiny hunt for Baydon, Meteor Falls. All these Meteor Falls ones are all going to be Baydon Shunters, who, these are fails for them. These are phases. So a lot of them just sell them off. I think Giant Chasm also might be Metang Hunters via lore. So these also might be Shunters selling off their phases. I keep all my phases personally, but people do different things. So like Solrock, Lunatone, right? Yeah, they're not that common. They're just like not that valuable. Now, if I search Tenta, look at this. Look at this. Woo! Woo! Look at there was like 7 Lunatones, keep in mind. Look at this. 148 shiny Tentacruels, right? Rapidash, another really common one. Look at this. This also isn't even Ponyta. Holy, Rapidash is one of the most popular. Oh my god. 210 shiny Rapidashes on the GTO. How many Ponytas? Holy guap. Oh, what? Wow. So there's like, what is that? What's the math? 350 or something? 350 or so shiny Ponyta slash Rapidashes on the, that's actually a lot. That is actually a tremendous amount, right? Like, think about it, like minimum, right? Like minimum time that would take to hunt the whole market of that's crazy. Yeah, it's EV trading for speed. Yeah, so people get Rapidash via speed EV trading. It's also a pretty it's a beginner XP trading spot that a lot of people use. I used it myself when I was newer, or at least coming back to the game in 2021, newer, quote unquote. Let's do 350 times 30,000. So on average, that dude, whoa, that's kind of nuts. On average, to get all of the Ponytas slash Rapidashes on the market, just one species, right? That is 10.5 million encounters on average. Just for one Pokemon species. That's kind of insane. When, like, that's, man, I say over and over and over again, people don't realize how popular PokeMMO is. I think this game is way more, I think the player base is way higher than people think. I would love to see numbers when they release from the devs, and stuff like that only confirms it to me. That is like really, really impressive in my opinion. What are some shinies that you don't like? There aren't that many shinies that I don't like, I will say, but there are 2 that I can think of. Shiny Dewgong slash Seal, and then shiny Persian. Those are 2 that, like, those are my 2 least favorite shinies in all of PokeMMO. Gengar, Garchomp, those can at least be saved by good mods, which is nice. I like that. Or like Mega Gengar, if that were to ever release. I don't know what Mega Garchomp shiny looks like, but I think Dewgong and Persian are like irredeemable. Okay, for those who don't know, this is the I'm sorry, one sec. This is the difference. Okay, I cannot click. This is the difference between shiny and non-shiny Dewgong. He becomes like yellowed like an old like NES console would. Like, he actually just becomes like yellowed. And it's like not like I prefer the non-shiny. Like this looks so bad. This is honestly this color change might even be more vibrant than what it actually looks like in game, like in PokeMMO. That is probably my least favorite shiny in the whole game. I hope I never see one, but let's see if we can find one in game and show you guys. Okay, I think it's actually less in game. Like, it's actually less of a change. Look at this. Normal Dewgong, shiny Dewgong. He actually gets yellowed like some shitty old console. What about green Dragonite? I am a big advocate, okay? I always say this. I actually think that green Dragonite, shiny Dragonite, is the most overhated shiny in all of Pokemon. Now, I'll explain why, okay? You may hear, well, what, Patrouski, blah, blah, blah. But Dragonair is so much better, blah, blah, blah. Exactly my point, right? Dragonair is a better shiny, and it is better. But Dragonite's not bad. The problem is, people see Dragonair turn into Dragonite, like, oh, what a fucking downgrade, blah, blah, blah. But if you separated them, right? If you had, like, if shiny Dragonite was its own species, and Dragonair was its own, you would like them both individually, right? It's just the mental thing of it being a downgrade, right? That's my opinion. I think that's my argument. I think shiny Dragonite. I like shiny Dragonite, honestly. The green, I like it. The purple, it looks very bat-like. The wings, like, I think this is a cool shiny. The problem is that it comes from Dragonair, one of the best shinies in all of Pokemon, right? So I think people have this like hatred and like bitterness and anger towards it. But like, if you removed this and you just saw this, I think it actually is a good shiny. It's like Druddigon, right? Some people, you either love or you hate Druddigon. I love Druddigon, to be fair. So if you hate Druddigon, you'll probably also hate Dragonite. They're not exactly the same. They're pretty different in a lot of ways, but similar-ish theory where like Druddigon is its own dragon species. There's no like evolution, right? Imagine if Druddigon evolved from some like pink or purple. I feel like people would hate it. I feel like people would hate it, right? I feel like it's a mental thing due with the That's my personal opinion. I think Dragonite is super overhated. I think he's like a B tier shiny and Dragonair is S tier. I think Dragonite is super overhated. Someone said, what about Shiny Golduck? Shiny Golduck is legit the same though. Shiny Golduck has actually grown on me, in my opinion, because of the pink. Like, I also used to hate Shiny Golduck, right? The more I've looked at it, and the more, if you compare it to non-Shiny Golduck, it's not great. But even, I don't know. No, look at this. Like this, like much more aqua color. I actually really like this blue. This blue, with the pink tints. Golduck was one that I thought wasn't that good, but it has actually grown on me. I always say, like, oh, I'd obviously keep, and like Psyduck is better. Another example of the pre-evolution's a better shiny, so people overhate the evolution. Golduck went from like F tier to me to like, it might be like C tier now. It's not bad, right? It looks rubbery. It does. You could, you know, bounce it around like a basketball. I don't know. It's kind of, that's plus 1 point for me. I like it. It's grown on me. It's gone from like F tier to like C tier, you know? I think it's not bad. Okay. Apparently, this is Wild Grizzly Bears. Holy shit. This is his 10th shiny Cryogonal of Shiny Wars. 10 Cryogonals, 2 Cubchoos. That is mathematically insane. Like, that is unbelievable. That is 100 points for one person without even doing eggs or rares or... He's on field team. It's so wild. That is insane. It's like 104 points. Each Cryogonal is 10, and then each Cubchoo is 2. Carry a whole team. Yeah, Risley is actually cooking. He streams on Twitch. I check him out. I recommend checking him out. This is an underrated content creator. I recommend checking out. Wild Grizzly Bear on Twitch. It's truly just a skill issue. Hey, he gets 10 shiny Cryogonals. I've got 1. I've got to catch up clearly. So let's go ahead and actually get some encounters. I've got to get my skill up there, boys. Like, okay, I've only been doing, to talk about like average of Shiny Wars, I've only been doing like 9 hours a day of shiny hunting during Shiny Wars, which I know, like, you know, only Keck W. It's a lot to the average player, but during Shiny Wars, it's honestly not that good. I really want to be doing at least 10 hours a day and hopefully more. To go over the math of like the difference of like someone like Risley or like Kuroshi. Yeah, Kuroshi said they're doing 16 hours a day since war started, right? Think about how massive a difference that is. Like 10 hours a day versus 16. It's like ridiculous, right? So if I do 10 hours a day times 7, it's 70 hours, right? That's a week. So a week is 70 hours. Easy peasy, right? 16 times 7 is over 100, I'm pretty sure, at 112. The difference between a 16-hour-a-day player versus a 10-hour-a-day player is the equivalent of 42 hours. It's like 50, over 50, like 60% more hours or work being done, right? It's actually crazy. It's actually wild. So just like, it's cool to say that I'm playing as much as I am, but there are players who are putting in way more. And obviously I've been dry. I've been unlucky to some extent, but other players are frankly just hunting harder than me and putting in more hours. And that's just how it goes. So hopefully hopefully I can do decent based on my hours, but I don't want to be comparing myself to someone like Risley or Kuroshi, because it's disrespectful to them, frankly, because they've been putting in more hours. You know, that's like what I'm trying to say is like, give respect and put respect on the name of people who are getting those, 10 shiny Cryogonals. Like, there's some RNG there for sure, but there's also a lot of hard work, and that RNG can only shine through with a lot of hard work, if that makes sense. What's your favorite scene from the 2007 classic Surf's Up? Every goddamn scene in that movie is a masterpiece. Surf's Up is incredible. I had never seen Surf's Up until I was like 22, and we watched it one night while having some adult beverages, and then the next morning I woke up hungover and immediately rewatched it. Like, I was enthralled. It's actually like so good. The idea of just doing like a fucking documentary style, like in like a kids movie, is so funny. It's such a good... Surf's Up is a very underrated. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, especially if you have kids. Like, it's just a good movie. If you don't have kids, it's such a good movie. Like, watch it with friends. Yeah, it holds up. Also, the fact that it's Shia LaBeouf makes it extra funny. Opinions on Shark Tale. I haven't seen Shark Tale, so I have to watch that. That one I'll have to go watch. But Surf's Up is very good. I really want to make a professional-looking shiny hunting bucket list, a checklist of every shiny hunt I want to do in the game, and to try to achieve them all. I think one of the most important things you can do is make a list of your goals and check them off. But I would love to see more people do specific niche shunts that aren't just for the species. So, for example, there's a difference with like, oh, I want to go for a shiny Porygon versus I want to go for a shiny Porygon from the Celadon City Casino. Like, That's a cool, now that's an insane one that most people won't want to go for, which is fair. It's too crazy, but like I think a reasonable niche shunt that I want to do, for example, is Altering Cave, right? Altering Cave is super nostalgic for me. It is such a cool piece of content in PokeMMO, and it's a dream shiny of mine to just go for an Altering Cave shiny, which will really just be single encountering back and forth, but during the right phases and like cycles of Altering Cave during that time periods, right? So like I would love to see more people do specific shunts that are meaningful to them and not just, oh, I want Rotom, therefore I'm going to go through the most efficient way to do it. Like I like when people do very specific shunts or do very specific things like that. I think it's very, very cool. So personally, a good example is I want to do an Altering Cave shunt. That's, I don't care what the species is. I just want a Pokemon with the catch location of Altering Cave. What's an Altering Cave, or what is Altering Cave? Altering Cave is an old cave in the game that used to be the only way you could get Gen 2 and Gen 3 Pokemon in PokeMMO back in the game, back in like 2013. So Altering Cave is a cave that cycles the spawns every 6 hours. So there's like 6 different phases or cycles that it can go through, and it happens every 6 hours. So let's say cycle 1 will be like 100% Zubat, right? And then cycle 2 will be like 0.5% Beldum, 2% Poochyena, 3% Shuckle, 20% Teddiursa, like 50% Zubat, etc. And then cycle 3 will be like 5% Stantler, 1% Bagon, like things like that. It's really interesting. There used to be an old website called like Altering. If I Google PokeMMO Altering Cave, let me see if any resources come up. I think there is a mod nowadays that goes over the cycles. PokeMMO Altering Cave cycles. There used to be a website dedicated to showing the cycles, but I feel like it might be gone. You might need the mod. But it's really interesting. The Altering Cave is a very, very cool mechanic that I wish, it's very, very underrated in my opinion. I talked about Altering Cave recently being brought back and being like changed, and I think Altering Cave could be a really, really cool legitimate way to bring in Gen 6 Pokemon, right? Like using Altering Cave, they used to use it to bring in Gen 2 and Gen 3 mons before it was in the game. Why not do the same with Gen 6 or later? I think that'd be super, super interesting. So I think there's some really cool potential with a cool mechanic like Altering Cave. Oh, we got a donation from Dart, boys. Here's $1 for each of your Shiny Wars Shinies. Could you imagine if I actually got Shinies the level of... Well, I appreciate it, Dart, for the $2. Congrats, brother. For those who don't know, Dart is the Giga Chad who is like making a name for himself during Shiny Wars and has gotten like, have you gotten 10 Shinies, 11 Shinies? How many have you gotten during Wars, dude? It's been also like within the first like probably more now. He had like 10 Shinies in the first like 14 days. Like it was insane. It was like the craziest wet streak arguably I've ever seen. And like 2 of them were eggs. Like I'm pretty sure Dart has like over 100 or something points of his own. It's actually crazy. I almost forgot Muckery did go ahead and redeem. Let's add to this battle. Muckery redeemed to name it veggie lasagna, the best vegetarian dish based in true and real. Yeah, honestly, one of the easiest mistakes to make in Pokemon, in my opinion. Yeah, doing Pokedex in release order. Unfortunately, yo, what's up, Arlo? The reason why that's not good is because you're not focusing on Phenos, and if you don't focus on Phenos and start doing Phenos immediately, you're gonna bone yourself in the future. Phenos are the first sentence. I have a video called the Pokedex Completion Guide for PokeMMO, and the first sentence is like, start your Phenos now. Do not wait. Like if you just do the Pokedex Pokemon by Pokemon, like from 1 to like whatever, you're gonna fuck yourself. Things like Alomola, like all these Pokemon that are from Phenos, you can't control when you encounter them, right? The only way is to like sign up for like the Pheno role in my Discord or try to follow Phenos in some way socially and then go to them when they spawn and then hope it's the one you want, right? Phenos are really, really annoying. They're really out of your control. They're not oftenly cited in game. It's tough. Phenos are tough. You don't want to be stuck on a Pheno. There are certain Pokemon that only spawn via Phenos, which are like shaking piles of grass or a whirlpool in the water, for example. There's like 10 or so Phenomons, things like Drillbur. You can get some of these through events, to be fair. So if you play like events, make sure to like catch the Excadrill from like alphas or whatever, stuff like that, right? Like that's really smart. But
you're doing your Pokedex, start Phenos ASAP. It is the most important thing. I think it's like the first sentence in my Pokedex completion guide is start Phenos now. If you're stuck on Phenos, you could sit there for like 2 to 6 weeks just waiting for one Pokemon. Like if you like just need a Ducklet to finish your Pokedex, it might take you 6 weeks, which sucks. You don't want to put yourself in that position. Yeah, this is a great example. It took me 3 days to complete my Pokedex in 1 week to finally get the Audino to finish it off. Yep, I've heard so many horror stories of you got to do Phenos first. Phenos are a passive thing you should do along your whole Pokemon career and along the Pokedex completion. Dude, congrats on the shiny Rotom, Theo. He apparently just got this today. The name is crazy. I do like that you went with Rotom Fan. I think Rotom Fan is super underrated. I really like this Rotom variant. Also, Electric Flying is like a very, very cool typing. Also, it came out Timid Nature. This is sick, dude. Congratulations. An egg shiny, a rare shiny. It should be celebrated. That took a lot of time. Actually, well, okay. To be fair, you said you got lucky on it. You got it in 1900 eggs, which is fucking awesome. I can only hope that everybody goes lucky on eggs because egg hunts are so tough. That's tough. Rate the name. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. I think it's a little kind of smart, but maybe a little low-hanging fruit is what I would say. That's my final rating on that. If there's a 1 out of 30,000 chance for an egg to become a shiny, is there a 1 out of 30,000 chance that 2 shiny parents have a non-shiny offspring? No, but maybe we should recommend that to the devs. That's quite the unhinged suggestion. Alrighty, fellas, we got a shiny today. We've been live for about 7 hours. We're almost back to 3K more encounters after the shiny. We did some good work today. We had a lot of fun, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of passionate conversations, a lot of food takes, a lot of memes, a lot of PokeMMO talk. I had a great stream. Hopefully you guys did as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great time. Like the stream if you did. It really does help out a ton. Dislike if you didn't. That's always okay. Subscribe if you want to see daily Pokemon videos. I do upload videos every single day regarding PokeMMO. Discord is down below if you're interested in that. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo donations are really what allow me to make content. I could not do it without them. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and just have fun playing this fantastic game. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. Hey, thanks so much for watching until the very end of the video. That really means the world to me, and it means even more worlds to me if you go above and beyond and support my content financially like all of these lovely people have done. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.